Welcome back to World Mobile Token News. We've got a great show for you this week. World Mobile CEO Mickey Watkins flies out to Wyoming to visit with Charles Hoskinson, founder of Cardano. Then he goes on Twitter and answers all your questions. Put out like 30 tweets. I picked the best dozen for you, and we're going to go over them. I'll give you my opinion on them. Great show this week. Hit the like, hit the subscribe if you enjoy the content. The other way you can support us is you can stake your World Mobile token to our Earth node once mainnet goes live. All of our returns, all of our rewards are going to go into buying air nodes to connect the unconnected. We want to see how many individual lives we can change with this channel. Let's get into it. Let's go from macro to micro. This week, in the U.S. equities market, inflation came out higher than expected, and the market did not like it. Tanked. Absolutely tanked. Markets abroad aren't that better. European Union or the EU is raising rates. China's got a real estate crisis. Overall, no one's bragging about the economy these days, but that was on Wednesday, and you can see after last Friday's dip down below 20,000, we were having a nice little recovery, and then boom. And we've been in a bearish trend ever since. Right now it's at 19,750. So we'll see if it goes back up over that kind of psychological barrier of $20,000 of Bitcoin, or if we reach a new low going 17,500-ish or below. When you look at World Mobile Token, we kind of held up a little bit better. We had a black candle in there, but we're still hovering at 21.5 cents. So pretty good there that we're holding strong and not breaching that 20 cents per coin mark. When you look at World Mobile Token Scan, this is exciting. If you watch it with me from week to week, we've got 15 additional air nodes that were released this week, and unique users have grown to over 10,000 in the past 24 hours, which was up from around 7 or 8,000 in previous weeks. So great to see that air nodes are being deployed, users are coming online, and the system is continuing to grow. With your World Mobile Token, they came out with this article on how to earn rewards with your World Mobile Token. If you're not staking right now with the Vault, you should absolutely do that with your World Mobile Token. There's a link in the description to this article. There's a link in the article to worldmobiletoken.com. I'll also have that in the description. It's really simple. You sign up for a Vault, okay, and then you send a small amount of ADA, and they send it right back to you to verify your wallet. And then at the 9th of every month, it takes a snapshot of what's in your wallet. And so this past 9th, the snapshot was taken on October 9th. The rewards, it'll take another snapshot, and as long as those tokens are still in your possessions, you get the early staking rewards, which are 0.66667% on your staked ETH. That's per month compounding. And that's paid in World Mobile Token, which is hopefully going to go up. So you don't want to miss that opportunity to get those rewards in your database. And it goes on to talk about staking and rewards after mainnet. These are reward programs for the adoption of the ecosystem. And as the mainnet launches, they're going to generate rewards for stakers and Earthnode operators based on real-world revenue and usage from the World Mobile Network. Following the launch of mainnet, Earthnode operators will be able to earn rewards from processing transactions, securing the network, and offering value-added services to World Mobile customers. World Mobile Token holders will be able to stake their tokens to an Earthnode operator of their choosing and earn rewards for their role in helping secure the network. As World Mobile Token ecosystem grows, with World Mobile Network and traffic volume increases, More transactions are generated on the network, and more rewards are distributed to node operators and stakers. This earned World Mobile token can then be restaked or sold on the open market. So, these rewards aren't coming from transaction fees in the beginning. You also have the inflationary rewards, so they're going to be higher in the very beginning. You want to go ahead and stake now, but as the ecosystem grows, the rewards will grow as World Mobile's revenue grows and more people pay for internet services. Again, link in the description of this video. If you haven't staked your World Mobile tokens, go ahead and stake them now. We will be running a full Earth node, so please stake your World Mobile token with our Earth node once mainnet is live. The great news today, or this week, Mr. Telecom, the CEO of World Mobile, Mickey Watkins, goes out to Wyoming and has a meeting with Charles. And if you look at this picture that they posted on Twitter, a few things I just want to point out. I love that they're in office chairs. That's probably not very far from the office building, and it's a great scene. And then look at Mickey. I think Mickey's catnapping on this right here. Probably a little jet lagged. Probably very nice out. But anyways, so great to see that Mickey and Charles are getting together and talking shop. Then he goes on Twitter and just answers a ton of questions. So I picked the best dozen for you. We're going to go over 3 or 4 topics that I know you're interested in. So this one says, just one question, is it being recorded so we can tune in? And Mr. T replies, not live. We did take a lot of footage and we'll release some kick-ass content soon. So we're excited about that, and we'll stay tuned for what footage is going to be released from that meeting. Of course, Win Zanzibar Aerostat. The launch. People are anxiously awaiting the launch of the Aerostat in Zanzibar. Mickey replied, not long now. We are waiting for some final pieces of documentation to be cleared with the regulators, and then it will be up in a day or so after that. We'll send you some videos of the site. So that's great news. Also on the chat that we have with us Earth node operators and World Mobile, a team member did say that it was more than likely going to be before the end of September. It really is a matter of days now. Last couple of videos were like it's a matter of weeks, not months. Now it's a matter of days, not weeks. So we can't wait for that Aerostat to go live and see how many people that connects with internet service in Zanzibar, and those numbers on World Mobile Token Scan go up. Is there any concern over the visual impact of aerostats in the sky? Are people generally okay with that, or have you received any pushback? So still on aerostats. He says that's a good question. From the surveys we have ran, people would prefer to have connectivity than not have the connectivity, and are happily accepting the aerostat in the sky in exchange for being online. Additionally, aerostats do not make noise, and colors brandings can be modified to be sympathetic to the environment. Our goal is to reach the stratosphere by 2025, which will reduce the amount of aerostats required, and the visibility to the naked eye should this become an issue for some. So they're not stopping with 300 to 500 feet. The higher they go, the more widely they can broadcast a signal. So they're constantly entertaining and researching technology-wise how to go higher. So then we've got a couple on Starlink. And he says, what do you think of the partnership between T-Mobile and Starlink that was recently announced? Could this become competition? Could World Mobile benefit with similar integration? We are still waiting on that announcement of how Starlink and World Mobile are going to work together. We've talked about that on other videos. Mr. Telecom says, a positive for us, satellites have incredibly low bandwidth and are limited to how many people they can connect. If you watch the latest joint announcement from the two companies, they clearly define the possibilities. World Mobile is much better, much lower to the ground and can provide meaningful internet to the masses rather than a few megabytes shared on each sector. I think that's what that means. Starlink is amazing, but not built or able to provide internet to the 3 billion connected people on the planet. T-Mobile is still using legacy infrastructure at their core and are held back by this. It's clearer now than ever that World Mobile is needed after this announcement. So, Starlink as a backhaul provider can be a partner with World Mobile, not a competitor. And World Mobile's technology is just kind of superior. Love to know your views on competition such as Starlink. And this one was a lengthy one, but it's worth talking about. Starlink and the other lower orbit satellite providers are not suitable for our dynamic network. Satellites compensate for the fact that they are long way up by using very low data rate, around 2 to 4 megabytes per second when connecting directly to a handset. That equates to around 3 concurrent Zoom calls per satellite, or 9,000 simultaneous Zoom calls for the entire 3,000 satellite constellation. And that's not a lot. That's why you can't just go sign up for Starlink right now. Like you have to be selected because of the limited capacity. Satellites alone are simply not the answer for connecting the 3 billion left offline to the high bandwidth services they need in the modern connected economy. Satellites are great additions to our stack, providing last resort coverage for both direct to handset and wilderness, or as a backup to fiber connections. Helium and Pollen use a relatively coarse-grained hex system to map coverage, which we don't see as an accurate reflection of the true nature of a cellular network. We are working towards making a fully robust carrier-grade cellular solution powered by the blockchain community. And then he did mention, I'm not familiar with SoftBank. If you are, drop a comment. Tell me a little bit more about them. SoftBank has multiple projects to demonstrate the feasibility of LAPs and HAPs, aerial systems, particularly for disaster relief. They might emerge as a competitor in the future, but at present we don't see them offering a worldwide dynamic solution for covering the unconnected. Currently, we are leading the race to connect the unconnected with full cellular service. And that's what you love to hear. We're leading the race. Next one. So Starlink mentioned again, but I like the first part. Any plans to expand to Latin America, rural areas? What advantages do you guys have over SpaceLink, Constellation, internet providers such as Starlink? Mickey says, our name is World Mobile, so the answer is yes. We have several Latin American countries on our radar, and in due course will enter the region. To answer your questions regarding satellite providers, for every option for additional bandwidth is a great option. We are working with several satellite providers to add additional bandwidth to remote areas where applicable. So again, it's not competition with Starlink. It's kind of different products that can work together. Next question, when DIDs? I love this question, and I've talked about this in a previous video too, about how important this is to the whole ecosystem. DIDs are digital identities. And so every time someone in Zanzibar or wherever signs up for World Mobile and uses their services, they are creating a digital ID for themselves. So Mickey says, we are already using DIDs for our air nodes, and the mobile application will be released imminently, which assigns a DID to each subscriber. So each subscriber is going to get a DID. When you have 100 million customers, that means you've put 100 million people on the blockchain. And then what kind of things can we expose them to from the blockchain perspective? Play to earn gaming, utility, NFTs, all types of stuff. All types of stuff. Are we getting an aerostat in the U.S. and will ad space be sold on the aerostat? I thought that was humorous. Only an American would ask that. Yes, we are deploying an aerostat in the U.S. And no, we are not considering selling added space at the moment. Only prominent logo will be World Mobile's. And again, about the U.S. expansion, how would the U.S. expansion strategy differ from the rest of the world? What are your biggest expected hurdles in expanding in the USA, and how will you tackle them? What are the biggest external risk factors you expect of us, specifically with government regulations? And Mr. Telecom says USA expansion would not differ that much in terms of infrastructure, technology, though what we're building in Zanzibar. Our approach to a sharing economy would stay the same, and the overall goal is the same: to connect the unconnected, or better connect the connected. So, I'm, I've known it. I haven't talked about it on this channel, that the USA specifically, I think it's going up in Wyoming, right near Charles's ranch, probably. But there's just a part of me that says, with the limited amount that we have a number of aerostats right now, why are we putting one up in the United States? I mean, it's the most developed country in the world. Would that not be better deployed in Kenya? I can't wait for World Mobile to get in Kenya. We already have a license to operate as a mobile network provider or operator, an MNO. So that population is a huge population to get online, and a lot of unconnected people. So, one of the things that I love about World Mobile is they're saying we're spending our resources and our time on product, not promotion. And I think that has served them very, very well up to this point. I wonder if part of launching one in the USA is promotion, which, is not a bad strategy. If you launch one in the USA and you're having, success in Zanzibar and Tanzania, the tech sector is going to stand up and take notice. So I'm not going to pretend to have, to be in that boardroom as far as how to direct company funds and resources, and whether or not you should put one up in the USA. But that's just my thought. I'm going to keep it real with you. I'm going to keep it real always. But I'm excited to have one in the United States. Heck yeah. Next one is Meld a solution to cover startup cost of new Earth nodes? Also interesting what similar lending solutions are available for air nodes to participate. He says, we have no plans at this current time to work with Meld to cover. Meld, by the way, is a lending platform on Cardano. To cover startup costs of Earth nodes. However, we are launching Operation Air Node, which will match air node owners who provide the capital with air node operators who will maintain the air nodes. Both parties earn. And you know how excited I am about this. All of our rewards in this channel, all of our profit in this channel, will go to purchasing air nodes to connect the unconnected. And I want to see how many lives we can personally affect with this channel. So how much does an air node cost? The next tweet says, Mr. Telecom says, a wide range. Air nodes will range from approximately $1,000, $10,000, $40,000, or $1.5 million. So again, there's going to be lots of different types of air nodes, and you put the air node depending on the population. And he says initially there are 3 models will be available for purchase. So I can't wait to find out more information about those 3 models, how much they might cost, if you can go in together on one, or do you have to be, if they're $10,000, you have to put up the entire $10,000. So, or will there be microfinancing? But that'll give you a range right there. 3 models available to purchase as soon as they start rolling out the Operation Air Node. Next tweet, after Zanzibar, it was said it would be a copy and paste for other countries. Can you give an estimated time frame of when you can expect Zanzibar to be round up? And can we expect delays because of lack of supply around Zanzibar as a whole? This whole supply chain issue was a common theme. I've got a couple tweets on it, but he says when the sharing economy is fine-tuned and we are in advanced stages of optimization, which won't be long now, So that's when you're going to see it copy and pasted into other countries. Supply chain issues are the bane of many right now, but we are well positioned to deflect near future issues that some will face. Do you feel solid on supply chain and construction of vehicles and blimps when enter disruptive times and recessions? Where do you source from? He says, yes, we feel solid. We have several providers of aerostats and are prepared for a global rollout. I worked at a locomotive factory, and what this locomotive factory did was they designed a switching locomotive that hadn't really been updated in about 40 or 50 years. So when you were repairing the old switching locomotives, you had to go find parts from like the older ones, and no one was making new parts for those switching locomotives. One of the most important things was that all of the parts on the locomotive needed to be over-the-shelf parts. So it ran basically on the biggest 18-wheeler engine that you could find with an electric converter. So, but all of the parts, you can get from like an auto parts store. You don't have to go try to find a specific part that's not readily available. So, having several providers of aerostats is key. And a few more ones here. What phone hardware will be eligible for use on the World Mobile Network? Good question. It's something I haven't covered. We are planning that all devices will work on our network. So it's not going to be device specific. It's not going to be only for Apple or only for Samsung, or they don't have to come on one at a time. What sources of energy would most servers use? How decentralized would it be? How much time for a reliable world system? We are deploying solar and battery solutions with rural air nodes, which will help make the network more energy efficient and sustainable. Earth node energy sources will be selected by Earth node operators and can choose any source. It doesn't consume that much energy. It's not like Bitcoin mining to run an Earth node. But in terms of decentralization, we are starting with 1,000 Earth nodes, which provides a decent level of decentralization. Regarding how long for a reliable world system, we are getting the formula right over the next year, and then we are planning for explosive growth across the globe. So within a year, 2023 and 2024 are going to be so much fun to watch with this company. I can't wait. Flo says, I'd like to know how a network effect could look like. What could happen when the first countries realize that this works, that the people realize how the sharing economy works? Could demand be higher than the World Mobile can handle? The business model has been designed for explosive growth, and that's part of using the blockchain. Is you're eliminating, by using smart contracts, you're eliminating so much of the overhead. And he says it's designed for explosive growth, and we look forward to the challenge. So we're excited. That's one of those good problems, right? And I like this one. For the layman, what makes you guys the best for the job? And he says, nice question. We have a kick-ass team. And I think I'm going to do a whole video just on the team. Let me know in the comments if you guys would enjoy that. We have a kick-ass team, some of the best, if not the best in the industry. We employ a world authority in airships and aerostats. Our co-founder is one of the greatest inventors of his generation. Our team's devotion, perseverance, and want for change is unlike anybody else out there. We are hungry and willing to eat anything that stands in our way. We are unified and believe in our vision of knowing that together we are unstoppable. And I think this is probably the most important one. The timing is right. The timing is right, the technology is ready, and we are the perfect moment in history to make a change to solve one of the last great puzzles for mankind. But he's right. A lot of these things, VHS or Betamax. The timing has to be right. The technology has to be there. And you got to have a lot of luck. But boy, is this company just poised to make a difference in a big way. What do you think World Mobile Token after 3 to 5 years? One of, if not the biggest mobile networks in the world, a top cryptocurrency, and an example for mass adoption of blockchain technology. And I think that's a great answer, and one that I believe World Mobile will accomplish. One of the biggest mobile networks. We've gone over this. Verizon has 155 million subscribers. So if we can connect just 20% of Africa, will be, or 10% of the unconnected in Africa will be nipping on their heels. 20% we surpass them. That's it for this week, guys. Thanks to Mr. Telecom, Mickey Watkins, for interacting with the community. It's what you want to see out of your leader. Hope you learned something from this week's video. If you did, give me a like, give me a subscribe to the channel, comment down below what you want to hear more of, and we will catch you next week. Have a good one.